This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is intended for viewers of legal drinking age. If you choose to drink, please do so responsibly. Most people think rum is sweet, cheap, or just for cocktails. That's wrong. Rum is one of the most complex spirits in the world, and today I'll show you why. If you like whiskey, don't skip this. Rum is made from sugarcane, either molasses or fresh sugarcane juice. And unlike whiskey, rum isn't controlled by one country or one rule book. That freedom is why rums can be incredible or incredibly confusing. There's no global definition of rum, no universal aging rules, with exception to the Solera. The Solera aged rums, commonly used in the Spanish style, represent a blend of different ages, where the number on the bottles often represent the oldest component, not the youngest. No standard sweetness levels. Labels don't always tell you the full story. That's why two bottles both called rum can taste completely different. So here we go, rum versus whiskey. So whiskey has strict rules. According to Scotch whiskey, Indian whiskey, Japanese whiskey, they've all got different rules and they're quite strict. But rum has freedom. So faster tropical aging. A lot of the rums, they mature in oak casks under the Caribbean sun. And what happens is that because it's so hot, the liquid tends to evaporate faster from the cask because the cask is made out of wood, oak. And this oak breathes. So in subtropical climates, it breathes much more than if it were in a colder region. So that's why you would experience a more flavor diversity. So you're experiencing flavor diversity in a huge spectrum. You have a very large spectrum of flavors and tastes and flavor compositions. That is why a 10-year-old rum can taste as intense as a much older whiskey. So let's start off with the three rum styles that everybody needs to know. So the first one is being Spanish or the Latin style. So these kind of rums are coming from Venezuela. A very famous one that everybody knows is Diplomatico and also Santa Teresa. Guyana, they have a very famous one called Port Morant and El Dorado. Colombia has a very famous rum called the Dictador, which has really expensive bottles which are even designer dedicated by Robert Orlinsky. I'll share more on that a little later. Peru has Milonario, Brazil has Abelia and Magnifica di Faria. It's primarily a cachaça. Ecuador has Cotopaxi. Now, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Panama and Venezuela, they are characteristic for their light, clean and rums that are created through column stills. Now, these are smooth, easy, they're perfect for cocktails. Now, if you're looking at the English style rums, you've got Mount Gay, Caroni and Admiral Rodney. Now, a lot of these rums come from either Jamaica, Barbados or Guyana. Now, these are pot stills and they're heavy, bold, they got funky flavors. Now, if you're a whiskey drinker, this is where you start. The French style is the rum agricole. Very famous ones are like Clément, Depaz and Saint-James. Made from fresh sugarcane juice, not molasses. So, characteristics are they're drier, they're grassier and they're very expressive. So this is for people who like complexity in their whiskies. Probably if you're like a person who like the Islay styles of whiskey, or maybe if you like the Campbell Towns or something a little bit more heavier like Speyside whiskies, pretty sure you might enjoy a French style rum. So the big rum myth. Rum is not always sweet. So just to give you some quick clarity here, some rums have added sugar like the Don Papa or the Ronzacapa and some don't. And that could be like the Bacardi because the Bacardi doesn't use any added sugar at all in any of its variants. Sweet doesn't mean bad, but transparency matters. So transparency is absolutely key. When you see that a rum is really clear, that indicates that it hasn't been sitting in an oak barrel, which are traditionally used in the creation of rums. It's not been sitting in an oak barrel for too long. So understanding this instantly makes you a smarter drinker because now you're aware of the different kinds of rum, whether rums have sugar or not, and the different styles of rum from all over the world. So let's get into how you'd like to start with your rum. So don't chase price, chase style. Ignore color. So you're gonna go with a rum that you feel possibly in that moment it's gonna be good for you. try out a white rum, try out a black rum, try out like a different sort of rum. Maybe it's something that you want to try out. You're curious, so be open to trying different styles is another thing that I'd like to say. So you could try one rum from each style. So you could try Bacardi Carta Blanca, you can try a Diplomatico, a Ronzacapa, before trying to figure out exactly what kind of rum you like. And you want to taste it neat before mixing it. So when you taste it neat, you understand the true profile of the rum before mixing it. A lot of people put Coke or any other mixers as such, but tasting it neat really gives you an understanding of what it's gonna taste like, without any of the ice, without any of the dilutants, should we say. So treat rum like whiskey, with curiosity. You're gonna have to want to understand rum the same way you give whiskey so much leeway, in the sense that you want to try and understand the taste profile here. And just to share some more information here, so the yeast variant used in the sugarcane fields outside of Santiago de Cuba for the Bacardi rum is La Levadura Bacardi. So Bacardi is very, very obsessive about the kind of products or the kind of raw material that they actually use to make their rums. So El Ron de Murcielago, or the rum of the bat, this is basically what is a symbol for the Bacardi. And many of you would have seen on the Bacardi bottle you have a black bat. So it's should we say a spirit animal for the Bacardi? Probably. So for starters, bats are natural friends of the rum industry, as they pollinate the sugarcane crops and they prey on insects that damage them. Add this to the fact that they are seen as a source of good fortune throughout Latin culture, and it seems like a no-brainer. So another thing I'd like to point out is the exclusivity of rum and this category coming up in recent years. So there is an exclusive collaboration which merges Robert Orlinsky, which he is an amazing artist, and he's partnered up with the Dictador. So Orlinsky is all about bold industrial artistry, and the Dictador has unparalleled craftsmanship, resulting in a collectible piece that celebrates individuality, creativity, and the transformative power of art. So they released a beautiful bottle that I'm showing you right now on screen. This is truly a masterpiece when it comes to displaying. It could be a centerpiece of a rum collection also as well. So a couple more things I want to share is that Blanca, which is the white rum, is somewhere between 3 to 4 years old. The black rum is 5 to 7 years old, and the Ocho is 8 plus. Ocho meaning 8 in Spanish. So basically this is a little bit related to Bacardi. This is their procedure and all. However, white rum and black rum generally have this age concept. So rum isn't just a party drink. It's history, it's culture, and it's craftsmanship. Thanks so much for watching my video. Subscribe for real spirits education and comment below what you think about it. Are you a rum drinker or a whiskey drinker who hasn't discovered rum yet? I'd love to know.